guys, so today we're going to check out a concept that you can apply to just about any technical exercise that you're working on to improve your technique. Now, I like to call this approach double time segmentation, and I'm going to explain that later, and you're going to see why we call it that in just a second. So I find this to be profoundly effective, and it gets results really quickly. It just takes a few minutes to apply it to any exercise you're doing, and it really gets results. And this is actually one of many tricks that I'm going to go over in a masterclass that I'm going to be doing in just a few weeks here at the virtual saxophone workshop. I'm going to be doing a masterclass on technique, dexterity, and application so you can apply technical exercises to your improvisation. And we're really excited to announce this workshop. It's going to be really amazing. We've got a bunch of incredible guest artists that are going to be giving masterclasses throughout the workshop. We've got Bob Mincer, Alexa Tarantino, Miguel Zanon, Troy Roberts, Marcus Strickland, Nathan Grabiel, also known as Saxologic, Derek Brown. It's really going to be amazing, so make sure to check this one out. And that's actually just some of the saxophonists that we've got already confirmed for this workshop, and we've still got a few more that are coming in, so it's going to be really exciting. Make sure to check it out. There are going to be a bunch of great topics that we're going to cover. Topics like warm-up exercises, saxophone sound and altissimo, articulation, slap tongue, extended techniques, rhythmic improvisation, and a ton of other concepts. So there's going to be an insane amount of content presented during this workshop. It's all going to be live and interactive, but it's okay if you can't make it live, because if you book now, you can actually get access to all the content for a full month, for a full 30-day streaming access period. And as I just mentioned before, I'm going to be doing a couple sessions myself. We're going to be doing that saxophone technique, dexterity, and application masterclass that I just mentioned, as well as a saxophone language masterclass. It's going to be from swing to modern. So we're going to cover all sorts of artists, everyone from Lester Young to Michael Brecker, and we're going to get into all sorts of different approaches and break down the characteristics of different time periods of jazz saxophone playing and beyond. So as I mentioned before, today we're going to get into that double time segmentation concept. This is going to be something that you can apply to just about any exercise that you work on. And as I mentioned, it's going to be one of a bunch of different tricks that we get into during that full masterclass. We're also going to do a full PDF ebook that's going to be a complimentary digital handout as part of that masterclass. It's going to have all of my favorite exercises for developing technique. And we're going to have all of that material written in all 12 keys. And as I mentioned, we're going to get into application so you can actually use these exercises in your improvisation and apply them to your improvising and line development. And I should mention there is limited space to join. We actually keep it limited so we can make sure that all the sessions run really smoothly. And every workshop that we've done so far has sold out. So just make sure to book now before it's too late. You can actually use a special coupon code that we're hooking up for you on YouTube here. That coupon code is going to be JLV50, which will get you an additional $50 off of early registration prices if you book now. So right now is going to be when you can get the biggest discount, so make sure to check that out. All right, so without further ado, let's get into this double time segmentation concept. You're going to see this is actually very logical, and you'll see why we call it double time segmentation. So we're going to apply this concept right now to a melodic cells exercise. This is going to be one of the concepts that we get into in the workshop because melodic cells are so effective for building your technique and dexterity. The concept really trains your fingers, ears, and brain to develop fluidity through really cool fixed shapes. So essentially that means you're going to take a fixed set of intervals and you're going to move them throughout your instrument. These shapes can actually be used as building blocks to your lines, so it can really help with developing language on your instrument as well. But one thing's for sure, these make for really challenging technical exercises, and a lot of people have trouble building up speed with this type of exercise, so that's what we're going to work on today. So first we'll check out the exercise itself without the double time segmentation concept. Then we're going to learn that segmentation concept and we're going to apply it to the exercise. So what you'll see here is this exercise is a compound cell. And as you can see, if you look at the individual cell, it can fit into a few different tonalities. And again, the application of this type of thing into your improvising is something we're going to get into a lot more at the workshop. But for now, let's just break down what a compound cell is. Essentially, a cell is just a group of notes. So if you look at the first 4 notes, you'll see the shape goes down 2 half steps, then up a perfect fourth. That on its own is a single melodic cell, and you could do an exercise with just that shape on its own, but it can sound even cooler if you combine two shapes together. So that's what we do by adding one more shape that also starts on that same note as the first cell. So on this next cell, we go down a perfect fourth, up a minor third, and then come back to that first note again. And when we put both of those cells together, we can call it a compound cell, and it sounds like this. All right, so that sounds pretty cool when you take it fast and you get it fluid and you work it into your improvisation. But I'm sure right now a lot of you are feeling like, I wouldn't be able to take it that fast. But check it out, you might surprise yourself with how fast you can get this one in just a few minutes here. And we're going to be able to increase the tempo very quickly and get it into double time by doing this concept of double time segmentation. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna isolate half of the motions that we need to do in order to play this exercise. And we're gonna put half of those motions into double time. So what we can do to accomplish that is adjust the rhythm by making the whole exercise follow this 2-note rhythmic pattern. So that means that we'll play a continuous rhythmic pattern of a dotted 8th note followed by a 16th note. Now you really want to be careful not to just play a relaxed swing feel here. You really want to subdivide the 16th notes. So you're always feeling 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. So then when you play this exercise, it's going to sound like this. And keep in mind, you're going to want to do this with a metronome, but for now, I'm just going to count you off at this tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you'll continue doing the exercise with that full rhythmic feel. We're going to play all the way through it in just a second here. But first, let's just learn the other part of this double time segmentation. So now we've gotten half of our motions into double time. Now let's do the other half. And this is going to be the harder part. You're definitely going to want to make sure you use a metronome. Now we're going to flip the rhythm here. So typically our tendency is to drag the second 16th note of a phrase. And that's one of the reasons why people really struggle to play fast. So this rhythm is going to fix that issue, and it's going to help you play double time a lot more effectively. So now this continuous rhythmic pattern is going to be flipped. So we'll play a 16th note, then a dotted 8th note. That's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, Now, theoretically, once you've played through both of these rhythms, you'll have played through the whole exercise in double time just by isolating one half at a time. So essentially, you'll have segmented half of the exercise at a time in double time, which is why I like to call it double time segmentation. So to go through the whole process of this double time segmentation concept, what you want to do is first you're going to play the exercise as 8th notes. Then you're going to play the first rhythmic pattern, then the second rhythmic pattern, and then from there, you should theoretically be able to launch right into double time. Now, you might want to do it a few times through just to get it more clean and make sure you're really doing it effectively. But theoretically, again, once you get the first and second rhythm down, you should be able to take the whole thing into double time right away from there. So now let's go through the whole sequence of exercises together, and let's see if you can pull it off with me now. All right, so now I've got the metronome going in my headphones right now to make sure that we play this really cleanly and consistently. This is going to be 100 BPM here. We're just going to play the first exercise as is, as 8th notes. And then from there, you'll just be able to follow along on the screen for the double time segmentation. 1, 2, 3. Rhythm pattern 1, 1, 2, 3. Rhythm pattern 2. 1, 2, 3. Now double time. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I hope you guys learned something from that process. Again, we're going to be going through all my favorite technical exercises and approaches like that to help you play faster and cleaner and more effectively, as well as ways to apply stuff like this into your improvisation. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, just make sure to book access while you still can. But if you prefer to be more self-guided with this thing, there is a PDF ebook that I released that you can check out on this concept, specifically the melodic cells concept. And so you can check out exercises like that one, not with the double time segmentation trick, but you can just check out the exercises as is in the melodic cells technique building PDF package. So you can get that at the link in the description below at jazzlessonvideos.com. But otherwise, just make sure to come through the workshop because again, we're going to go through all my favorite exercises for building technique and application. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to make sure that everybody gets a ton of content out of this sort of thing. It's going to be live. We're going to be able to interact with each other. You're going to be able to ask questions. It's going to be really a lot of fun. And again, even if you're in a different time zone and you can't catch some of the masterclasses live, you'll be able to check it out during that month-long streaming access period. And if you want to just revisit anything and come back to a concept that you really dug during the workshop or something that maybe you were a little unclear on and you just want to kind of get another go at it and listen through, watch through, you'll be able to do that during that streaming access period. All right, guys, so I hope you learned something today and I hope you'll join us at the workshop next month. It's going to be a total blast. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel here. Click the bell so you can get notifications whenever we launch new material here. And make sure to slam the like button here and leave us a comment in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.